It's two dudes making noise, talking about pro wrestling on the podcast. Big up boys, big loony guys. We be throwing down the rhymes, keeping it live, representing the Lone Star State every damn time.
Whoa, welcome back, y'all. Welcome to the Ring Rundown, round number 27. Hope everybody's doing good out there. We're getting very close to that time of year that is called the holidays, Christmas, Hanukkah, whatever you celebrate. What's that one? Festivus, Kwanzaa, whatever you guys celebrate
Festivus
out
for the
there.
rest of us.
Happy holidays, everybody. What's up, man? Do you have any plans for the holidays? What you got going on?
Not really a whole lot right now. We're just trying to decide what we're gonna eat, if we're gonna order it from somewhere, if we're gonna make it on our own. So we're just trying to still keep it as health conscious as possible, but you know, it's Christmas, so calories and all that stuff don't really count on Christmas.
I was about to say Golden Corral. Then you said calories. I was like, maybe not. That's usually my go-to. When I'm not with the family or whatever, I go to Golden Corral.
I'm trying to stay away from germ-infested, cesspools and Golden Corral and Hometown Buffet or whatever other.
I guess I'm calling me trash because I love them. We got a good one over here, though. I know it's just I have had bad experiences at Golden Corrals and whatnot.
I mean, think about it. I mean, the food just sits underneath heat lamps like after it's done, So unless you're constantly running out of food and constantly replacing it, if it just sits there, dude, just think of how much bacteria is growing.
And I mean, that's a thing. Like
on that piece of chicken you just picked up, that
and they're not going to make
other people walked over.
Not just that, but they're not going to make the food to the best of their ability. Because I mean, it's going on a buffet, so this is like flavor is kind of like a afterthought. It's not
okay. So get this. So like when me and my wife, when we first started dating early on in our relationships, we used to go to CiCi's Pizza, right?
Oh, I love the barbecue pizza.
Killer deals and stuff like that until one night we saw one of the workers pull one of the trays that only had like a couple slices left on it, sticks it underneath the bar, and then when a few more pieces of that fresh pie just left, he walked over, pulled it back up from underneath the bar, and just sets the couple last pieces from that previous tray on with the pizza that's just fresh, dude.
That sounds like just a lazy employee to me. That's all that sounds like. But I'm not one. I mean, I'm from Louisiana, so I don't think about all that stuff. I mean, the cracklings, bro, when they make them, if they're not fresh, they sit underneath the heat lamp, and I eat them suckers up. So, I mean, that's just me, though. You Californians, bro, y'all a little different from us. You know what I'm saying? But no, I totally get it. I mean, I know buffet ain't the best food. You know what I'm saying? But it is.
There's been way too many videos of people who work at places like Golden Corral, Hometown Buffet, whatever, where when they've got health inspector coming up, they're moving racks and racks of food out to the dumpsters, so
yeah, I mean, there's
that's a little sus,
but then again, like that could be anywhere. Like what my favorite ramen shop here in town, it's like supposed to be like fresh, like beautiful place. They just failed their health inspection, so I'm not going back there. Like that's crazy, because that place, when you go in, it's nice, immaculate, fresh food, looks all fresh and stuff. I didn't see that coming. I mean, you never know with bad employees these days. You never know what could happen. People just
right,
cutting corners instead of doing things right.
Yeah, when I lived back in California, good old Bakersfield, home of Buck Owens, or massive, wild musical success Korn. I worked at a McDonald's in a little podunk town called Taft, right? So across the street from us, there was a shopping center that had a Mexican restaurant that people loved going to. They ate there, but their health inspected rating was constantly like at a C minus or a D, dude. Like it was crazy.
The crazy thing, I've seen some of like the most hole in the wall places that look nasty that get an A. I've seen that before, like time and time again.
Oh yeah,
It's so crazy how
yeah.
that
So
works.
you
You
don't,
really never know.
you know what they say. Don't judge a book by its cover, because you could see a place that's dingy as everything, is all hell on the outside, but you go in and you're like, did I just walk into like a 5-star hotel, and music, type of
I've seen
experience, like you would see, like in Monaco over there across in Spain or whatever, so it's just,
Hey, but
you
there's
just never know what
always
you're gonna come across.
the Cracker Barrel. They got that turkey dinner. That no,
Taco Bell is good.
they got that that on Christmas Day they got that good old prime rib. Pretty good. Well, enough for
Anyways, enough of this, man.
food
Let's
talk.
get into our first topic. What do we got going on first? What are we
All
starting this
right.
round off
So
with?
apparently Chris Jericho has challenged. No, Matt Cardona has challenged Chris Jericho at Final Battle for the ROH Championship. What can you tell us about this, Mr. SP?
Yeah, so amidst all this ongoing controversy between AEW and GCW, Matt Cardona showed up to accept Chris Jericho's open challenge match on ROH TV taping for the ROH title at Final Battle, which is December 20th at Hammerstein Ballroom. So apparently the relationship between GCW and AEW isn't dead, and it's still going on. And apparently, even at one of GCW's events, Chris Jericho snuck in. Well, didn't necessarily sneak in, but he was disguised and jumped Matt Cardona and Effie with a lead pipe. So
But
this is
then
definitely
I heard conflicting reports too, and I wish I would have added this to the show. There were other stars held back from appearing at GCW. AR Fox being one of them, and there was one other, but I'm not sure what that was about. They're saying they don't know if it's actual, like, from the beef, or if it was for legitimate reasons. I'm not sure.
right. Yeah, I mean, just don't know. So this is definitely something to.
I wish I could have looked into it
as
more.
far as I can tell. Right. Yeah. No. As far as I can tell, the relationship is still steadfast. Although there could be some, small things that are still kind of constricting that full blown relationship to actually happen.
If you want my
But
honest
this is gonna be
take,
something interesting to see.
and I'm not speaking ill of GCW. GCW is awesome, but if AEW wants to be taken serious as the higher echelon, kind of with the WWE, they got no business beefing with an indie. You know what I'm saying?
Right.
In my opinion, that's not even worth it. That's petty. That's leave each other be, work
Yeah,
together, build each other up.
Yeah, no, and that was something that we discussed on last week's episode, with our special guest we had that night, Dr.
Mhm.
The Wife, which again, much props for her, for
She's
you coming
awesome.
on to the show and giving your side of things and your input. So we definitely would love to have you back on. But yeah, no, this situation going on between AEW and GCW is definitely something to keep an eye on, and hopefully that they can squash.
I really don't think
whatever-
there shouldn't be beef in the beginning, because the reason I said, plus I can understand if I forget his name, the owner of GCW said that stuff, especially the stuff at the end.
Brett
But it was
Lauderdale.
it was just a talent saying it. I mean, I don't think that's
Right.
you can't control what somebody said. You know what I mean?
Yeah.
Effie is he's a wild card already. So I mean, he's gonna say
right.
he looks like the type of person to me that he's gonna say what's on his mind. So it is what it is.
Right. Yeah, and rumors are circulating. Now, of course, this also has been shown, on ROH TV of Matt Cardona coming out to accept Chris Jericho's challenge, but the initial story was broken by Fightful Select. So yeah, no, like I said, this is definitely going to be something to keep an eye on. There was something I was gonna. Oh yes, sorry, I lost
Sound
my
like
train
me
of
now.
thought. But there are also reports indicating through Fightful, Figure Four Wrestling Online, No DQ, that AEW is possibly extending a potential contract offer to Matt Cardona. So we could see Mr. Radio Silence, Mr. Always Ready officially signed with AEW.
I know he did sign before, but it was a short-term deal. It was like a couple appearance deal.
Yeah, that was like a 5 match deal or something like that.
I think it was like
deal.
appearances or something. He got a couple matches out of there. I didn't. I thought they
But no,
they
this
should have
is.
picked him up back then. I like the
Well, I
stuff he was
agree. Yeah,
in.
especially when he came out and came to the rescue, Cody Rhodes against Brody Lee and the
Yeah,
Dark Order, which R.I.P. Brody Lee. Um,
more on him in a bit.
but yeah, yep. So
But
this is gonna be
yeah,
interesting, man. I would definitely like to see Matt Cardona sign to an AEW contract.
yeah, the dude's
What about
massively
you?
talented. He was the one that kind of really showed that you can get yourself over. He really learned how to utilize social media and getting himself over. And the dude knows what he's
He was
doing.
where he was really one of the first ones to be able to do so.
Yeah, which is really impressive. And I mean, the guy's massively talented, great guy from what I hear. So I think he deserves a spot on our TVs weekly. So that's what I would say.
Mm-hmm. Yeah.
All right,
So,
moving
all
on.
right. What do we got next?
Brody Lee Jr. has been spotted training at the world famous Heart Dungeon.
Yeah. So this is a story that came out of Ringside News. Yes, the infamous Hart Dungeon, obviously no longer located in the basement of the Hart family home, because that has been sold off to someone else. This is the wrestling school. Obviously, they kept the name the Hart Dungeon, ran by Natalia and I believe Tyson Kidd, her husband.
It's probably not
yes, here we.
it's probably not as hardcore as what it used to be. I would say.
Oh no, of course not. Because in that room, it was just like a 1-inch rubber mat on the floor and
They were bumping
wood
hard.
paneling on the sides. Yes.
And
So yes, this footage was shown via Natalia's social media, where Mr. Brody Lee Jr. is actually getting in the ring and running the ropes. Obviously, as we see here, he's got someone in a headlock, but he learned how to get out of a head scissors head scissors from the mat by a nice little kip up, and is actually putting in some work. So
that's good.
he's should be good to go, ready when he turns 18, get ready to go into that AEW ring. So
Yeah, I mean the kid has a bright future. I'm surprised he's at the Heart Dungeon though. Like, is his mother Canadian? Because I know they're from Rochester. I want to say New York, and I'm surprised
well,
he.
I mean, I think
I mean that's
Natalia and her
right
husband, I
there.
think they live down
So.
in Florida. So
Yeah, but I know like I'm surprised to see he went way up there. And usually when you go up to Canada, they must like usually people go to Lance Storm. But I guess the Heart Dungeon's really starting to take hold. I don't even know if Lance Storm's still doing his training camp though, if I can remember.
uh-uh.
I don't know if because I know that's where Ray sent.
He closed it up. He closed it up a few years ago.
I know because when he got the job with WWE as a producer, but then I didn't know if he went back to it after WWE released him or whatnot. But that's a sidebar. But that's little tidbit. That's where Dominic Mysterio he went. Ray sent him to Lance Storm to learn the basics, and
Yeah, no, it's been a few years since Lance Storm ran it.
yeah, but
Yeah, so-
but who better to learn from than Tyson Kidd? That dude knows how to work in the ring though, so that's a good trainer for
Tyson,
him.
Natalia, and even other superstars who are there training as well too. I believe Liv Morgan was there as well. And,
Oh, we gonna see Teddy over there training him. No.
I mean, so this is definitely something great to see. You know that how many people loved his dad, Brody Lee.
Carry on that Lee name,
John
baby.
Huber. and everybody just fell in love with him. Obviously, as you can tell, he's got the support of so many different people behind him. And I mean, his dad's best friends were, I believe, or per his per Brody Lee's mom was Big E and Cody Rhodes. So, and then again, everybody who he grew up, seeing in AEW for the last, unfortunately, just last few months of his father's life until that unfortunate timely passing, or untimely passing, I should say.
Well, but I'm interested to see what the future holds for this kid. So, but I know it's a bright one. So, yeah, I hope his training goes well.
Definitely.
Yeah, get those reps in, kid. But moving along, we got this. I have no idea about. I was surprised when I saw this on the docket. Ryan Nemeth, a complaint with AEW dealing with CM Punk. So did this just happen? Because I mean, CM Punk's been gone. How long now?
This was just. This was just first reported just a few weeks ago. This was reported on by Fightful Select. Obviously, gotta love Fightful Select. But apparently, yes, Ryan Nemeth has filed a complaint against AEW, alleged harassment and threats by CM Punk, and accusing AEW of failing to address the issues. Obviously, that's not the first time we've heard that.
But like,
claims include being threatened by Punk in June 2023, removed from an event at Punk's request in August of 23, and being pressured to antagonize Punk publicly. He also says that AEW sidelined him, ignored creative pitches, and failed to take action despite his repeated complaints. His contract expired in March of 24, following his last AEW appearance in November 2023. Apparently, AEW offered him a settlement tied to an NDA, which was later withdrawn. Apparently, Ryan Nemeth had sought mental health support over the ordeal, is advocating for policy changes and financial compensation, while expressing appreciation for some AEW personnel who supported him during the dispute.
Yeah, so I guess this is stemming back from when Punk was there, but like he must have filed this long ago, I guess. Like I don't know why come.
More than likely,
it's probably been behind the scenes for a while, really.
Yeah, because it, like I said, it just didn't get first reported on until
probably just came to light, really,
a few weeks ago. Yeah,
but that's unfortunate. Just like you said, both ways the AEW failed to address. I guess I don't know, but also not the first time I heard it about CM Punk being, lack of a better term, a bully to some people.
Yeah, and everybody's saying, "Oh, how he's so great to work with now in WWE," and it's like, well, if reports are true,
he's in check right now in WWE. Is why he knows
it's in his contract that if he starts any sort of issues or trouble, then he's gone. So.
And there's a very big difference between Tony Khan and Hunter Hearst Helmsley. He's not going to be able to get away with as much with Hunter as he did with Khan. He's not going to run Rush Shop over him.
Oh yeah.
But I mean, I don't know.
Kind of. Yeah, no, like what you're just saying, that kind of points out the subtle differences between Tony Khan and Mr. Paul Levesque. So, but then again, of course, you get people who tell Tony Khan to be more of a boss, and when he does act like a boss, then they
complain about it
down his throat, saying
you're never gonna make everybody happy. It's a no-win situation. In other words. Well, I think his problem is they got used to him being a friend and not a boss. So now when he does be a boss, it's kind of like shocking. You know what I'm saying? But I don't know, dealing back with Punk there, I hear good things, but I hear so many more bad things about the guy. And then my own personal experience with the guy at a Comic-Con. He just doesn't, from what I hear, if he likes you, he's the best guy in the world to you. But if there's any little thing wrong that he doesn't like about you, they say he's just awful to deal with.
Yeah, as we saw in the footage,
kind of like a Bully Ray
of the Brawl In incident from 2023.
Who lunges at their boss though? That's like who? I don't know. That's weird to me. Like, who would lunge at their boss? Like, that's so crazy. But I mean, he's gone now. Hopefully, Ryan can deal with this stuff, and if he did go through all that trouble, hopefully, they make it up to him. And because I know I know when I've been involved in a toxic work area, and it is depressing. It's really a hard thing to deal with. And I hope he gets his due. Is he back? He's in TNA, right, with his brother now, right? Like him and his brother doing some stuff in TNA.
He's popped up in TNA.
That's good.
Yeah, he's had a few spots in TNA wrestling with his brother. So
I always wanted to see them two work together, cohesively. But yeah. So, well, I hope this, hope everybody this ends with everybody happy. So now, moving along, you had a question. Should there be more than one women's match per AEW television event or whatnot? Okay, quick one. No. All right, next subject. No, I'm just joking.
hey, come on, man.
Well, I mean, the way I see, if it makes sense,
we know how you feel about women's.
I hate women's wrestling. Oh yeah.
I'm all for women's wrestling. All right, man. They got to put in twice the work to get the little bit of recognition that
I'm Blaze your dead homie.
Okay.
Well, I mean, what I'm gonna say, if it makes sense, yeah. I mean, I don't see nothing wrong with having more than one women's match. Hell, have 3. It doesn't. If it makes sense, whether it's a male or a female match, if they got some good stuff, some good, programs going, hell, have the matches, male or female.
Right.
If it makes sense, put it on TV.
Just my thing. Yeah, no, that's just my thing. Is I mean, yeah, you have your episodes where, oh yeah, we'll hear from so and so tonight, and then it's only one women's match, and then you've got 7 other men's matches. It's like, add another women's match, add a women's tag match in there. Just something. I think they just need to start upping it up more. And I guess this is kind of, I don't know, maybe into a topic of discussion for our next episode is, would you like to see AEW put on an all women's pay-per-view? Would you like to see them kind of recreate what WWE had with the Mae Young Classic, except
and Evolution? I think it was Revolution or Evolution. What was it? The all women's pay-per-view.
Yeah, Evolution. I believe it was Evolution. I think it was NXT Evolution. But would you like to see AEW or even TNA, whatever, feature and do more full-on programming centered towards women's wrestling?
I wouldn't mind it. I think it'd be a cool thing. There's a lot of good female talent. I love what Toni Storm's doing. I think it's so funny, like the amnesia gimmick she has going on. I think that's pretty awesome.
That was hilarious. It was awesome. And I'm like,
because it took me a second to get it. She was like, Toni Storm is now all. I was like, what? Were you always? I was like, oh, I see what they're doing. I was like, okay, that's funny. All right. Like the whole classic thing is just, it never happened.
The timeless Toni Storm ended when it needed to end. And the great thing about Toni Storm is that she was like Chris Jericho doing the timeless Toni Storm gimmick. She knew when it was time to change it up just a little bit, or add to it, take away from it, and then she finally had the common sense to realize, okay, this is starting to wear itself out. What can I do to bring it? So boom, she returns last week on Dynamite to a huge pop. She's now back to old school Toni Storm,
which I'm glad to see. I like her entrance music too.
Yeah, babyface. Yeah, so she's going back with this, and then just this new amnesia, run that she's doing. I think is great. Toni Storm is definitely winning the women's championship from Mariah May.
Yeah, I'm glad
that match takes place at World's End.
I'm not gonna lie. I thought the timeless thing, I thought it was kind of JoJo in a way in some aspects. I didn't think it fit her, but it didn't. Like, I'm just glad to see her back to what, just the badass Toni Storm, But yeah, it's interesting. Yeah, all women's pay per view. I'd be down. I think I'd watch. It'd be cool. Maybe a few more women's matches. I mean, because I do see there's a lot of filler men's matches on AEW at times. And hey, throw a women's match in there
And
instead.
they've got all these women's wrestlers. I mean,
Well, look at that.
who was it? Julia Hart just made her return last week. So
Maybe they should
okay,
get
now
yet
she's
another
gotta
show.
get into-
Maybe yet another show. Maybe an all women's show. They should maybe shop around, or do it on
yeah,
do it on their
that's what I'm
YouTube
saying.
channel. Do it on their YouTube channel or something. Maybe an hour long women's show every week. Tape it before Rampage or not Rampage. Tape it before crap. Why am I going blank? Dynamite or the other one.
Dynamite or Collision.
Collision. Tape it for the Collision. A
Collision.
good 1 hour, maybe hour and a half. Women's show. I think that would be a good idea.
Yeah, but I know they do ROH tapings before and after those, so they're definitely gonna have to
They can find
fit it
time.
in somewhere. So
They can find
yeah,
time.
they can. But Tony, you've got all these great women's wrestlers. I know, Soraya's taking some time off. Ruby Soho's out with pregnancy. Sky Blue's out with injury. But you've got all these other great female wrestlers. Utilize them.
Yeah, do some stuff, man. Do some stuff. Yeah, that's a good point. Now,
what do we got next on the docket?
moving on, Juice Robinson broke his leg apparently. What can you tell me about this here?
So this was reported. Dave Meltzer spoke with Figure 4 Online that apparently during Juice Robinson's match with Will Ospreay, there was a moment where Juice broke his leg. He was able to finish the match. Obviously, he ended up losing. So he has been officially pulled from the Continental Classic.
We ain't gonna see him for a
round
while.
robin tournament. Yeah, it's gonna be a while. And
A
they
broken
ended up
leg takes a
replacing
while.
him with Commander. Commander, great
Commander's
luchador.
fun to watch. Fun to watch.
He's fun to watch. I don't know if he was the right pick to replace Juice Robinson.
Two totally different styles.
Commander, he's great to watch, everything like that. But
Totally different style that
I
not
just-
everybody can deal with.
totally different style, and I just don't see him. He was one of those picks to where it's like, okay, who can we just find who we know isn't going to have a chance to win? Maybe he'll get like a time limit draw victory, or maybe a 3-point victory, whatever. But I just felt like it was a waste of a pick. I think they could have picked somebody else to fill that spot, and I just can't.
It's like, who's
on who would be a good fit?
It's like, who's not busy? Commander. He's not busy right now. But yeah, that is weird. That's two totally different styles. That's with the luchador style. Not everybody can really rap. Are good at working with it. At times, some aren't really a good base for it. So I can see your point,
Mhm.
but
Yeah.
any thoughts of who you think should have been slotted on in there?
I'm gonna pull up the AEW roster.com or AEW roster real quick and see.
Yeah, I'll do the same. No dead air, 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 no dead air. How's everybody doing? Merry Christmas. Happy Kwanzaa.
Let's see. AEW. Get out of there. Sorry, my
AW
phone's
Rooster. Let's see here what we
being
got.
slow.
Get all the champions out of there. And Helico. Nah, never mind.
No.
Is Big Bill in it?
No, he's not. I think Big Bill probably would have been a good one.
That'd have been a decent choice.
Anthony Agogo, maybe.
Ooh, that'd have been good. What about Brian Keith? I'm a huge fan of Brian Keith.
I think he would have been a good pick, but whatever's going on with him.
Oh,
hopefully he's back soon.
I got the best one.
Who?
Boom, boom. Colt Cabana. Boom, boom. What do you think?
That would be interesting, but I think that would just kind of be in the docket of.
I think Colt Cabana would have been great.
I think he would have been good too. I know. I got it right here. Danhausen.
Duh. Yeah. Danhausen. Poor Danhausen. Yeah, I want to see Danhausen back at some point. We had a whole story. Look back at our episode before our last episode, I want to say, and you'll see our thoughts on the whole Danhausen. Was last week. Was it last week?
I think it might have been last week.
I think it was the week before. I don't remember talking with Dr. Wife about that. I think it was round number 25. I want to say.
Maybe. Keith Lee. Well, you already said Keith Lee. Keith Lee would have been a good pick.
Brian Keith. I said, but Keith Lee, yeah, that would have been great.
Okay. Keith Lee would have been good.
But yeah, Keith Lee, I think he's still out. I think I saw a report that he's still dealing with an injury.
Or Lance Archer.
Oh yeah. Or Brian Cage, for that matter.
Mm-hmm.
There could have been a lot of people. Commander, that is a weird one, but it is what it is. We don't book it. We just give our opinions. That's it.
Yeah, that's pretty much all we could do is just give our opinions on who we think.
If you want them, take them or leave them.
Yep, fantasy booking over here, guys. Nothing to see, just us playing fantasy booking.
Yeah,
and what we would do, but
I don't have $1 billion wrestling company, so I can't really.
Nope.
But I wish I did now. But yeah. So Juice Robinson, hope a speedy recovery for him. A leg break sucks. It's gonna be a while till we see him.
I think he had surgery on it as well too. So
yeah, that's gonna be a long road to recovery.
Now it's just gonna be the rehab. Yep, now it's just gonna be rehab and just wait for him to get cleared. So
I would say late 2025 is my guess. Maybe not late, but like definitely fourth quarter 2025, maybe third or fourth quarter 2025.
Late 2025. So.
Third or fourth quarter, I would say. Somewhere around there. But speedy recovery. All right, and our last and final topic of the night. Some pretty stale-ass news, in my opinion. But it is what it is, I guess. So Triple H went on record saying that they're going to keep things family-friendly when they make the transition to Netflix. Heard about this. My boy Chris Camacho actually expressed his grievance about this on Facebook and kind of messaged me about it. And I'm like, yeah, that kind of sucks. Now, I will say that I didn't expect him to go full, Attitude Era. But, just a little more, a little curse word here or there. Maybe a little
bit more adult oriented.
A little bit.
To,
give us TV 14,
Right. Some good old TV 14 or some
adult themes every now and then, a little more edginess.
Yeah, maybe if is Raw going back to 3 hours? I think they are, right? When they hit Netflix.
I don't think that's been
confirmed,
but that would be everybody's guess.
If they do, then they can make that last hour.
That's how they used to do it. Because you remember it was Raw is War, then it was the War Zone. The War Zone was where the shit happened. That was after 9 o'clock. So I'm guessing they could do something like that. I just, I want to see some beat down, some blood spray. Not overly done. But, still have room in there for the kids. You got to keep the kids happy. John Cena, he's going to be coming back soon. So for his last run, but I still like there's so much you can do with PG. And I get it, they want to sell figures, they want the parents to, let their kids watch without worrying, but there's these big grown ass man babies like me and this guy here that we want to see some edginess to our wrestling at times, I'm not saying that we need to have bring like they used to. Sable out there pulling her boobs out on national TV or anything, but you
Just
know,
with the handprint.
like
pasties.
if Stone Cold comes out, no more of this, no more of that or this. I want to see some of the good old fashioned 2-gun salutes again. You know, stuff like that.
Some some you are number one salutes.
Yeah, some of those, you know, and not actual number ones like he had been doing or doing the closed fist, the actual middle finger.
Well, you
least-
realize when he would just only do the closed fist when he would go up to the turnbuckles. He would only hit all 4 turnbuckles when he got into the ring and would just raise up his fist like
I remember
this.
back it was the birds. He would get up on the thing and birds on all 4 corners.
Every now and then it depended on what it was that was going on in the ring, what the action was like.
But yeah, let Stone Cold give the finger again. You know, if he comes back, you know, let's see, you know, a couple of, you know, little curse words. I'm not saying drop full on F-bombs or anything, but you know, let's get some edginess back there, some adult oriented storylines without overdoing it. You know, ain't got to be no weird sexual stuff or nothing, but you know. I mean, I don't see why they couldn't, you know. I mean, they got to realize, you know, the kids that were watching back then have grown up now. They're here. And we're watching, you know, something for us too, you know. We've grown up now, you know. So, but I get the sentiment behind it. You know, they want to sell figures. They don't want, you know, the parents out there worried about what the kids are watching, you know. I get it, but, you know, I don't see... Well, I mean, the SpongeBob. I don't know if you ever went back and watched SpongeBob now. Like, there's some adult shit dealing with SpongeBob, you know?
Well, in a lot of these cartoons and stuff like that, there was always the adult stuff in there. You just had to know where to listen for it and where to look for it.
Yeah. So, I mean, I don't see nothing wrong. You know, I remember, like, I couldn't watch Beavis and Butthead growing up. Now I go back and, like, my mom didn't allow it on her TV. Now I go back and watch it. I was like, this ain't even bad. It's just burp and fart jokes. Like, it's not even compared to what some kids are watching these days. I don't see nothing wrong.
My mom, it was in no South Park.
South Park was another one. South Park was another one.
Because Cartman would call his mom a bitch. Watch Simpsons. Was able to rent the Beavis and Butthead movie, Beavis and Butthead Do America. My mom thought that was hilarious.
Now, see, my mom was weird. Sorry, Mom. She's probably going to see this. She would not let me watch Beavis and Butthead, but we could, like, watch Friday the 13th, Nightmare on Elm Street, all that.
I watched all that stuff.
I could watch Halloween. I could watch all of that, but no Beavis and Butthead. Like, make that make sense, you know? Well, whatever. Parents, man. Parents.
Parents just don't understand.
They just don't understand, man. But what do you think about this? I've been talking most of the time. How do you feel?
I'm in the same boat with you. I mean, for so long it was speculated and well thought on that WWE was going to go to a more adult themed product when they did hit Netflix. And there still is a possibility for them to do that as well. Like you said, probably just not as in your face about it. And I mean, if Monday Night Raw does go back to 3 hours when it does hit Netflix, maybe that last hour could be the more grittier, darker stuff, you know? So
yeah, I'm here for it. Like I'm saying, I don't want to, like, they shouldn't overdo it, but a little blood here and there, a little, you know, 1-gun salute here and there, you know. Don't hurt nobody. Ain't hurting nobody, you know. But now I'm not saying bring back full on DX and all that, but I still think it's stale though. It's kind of stale news, but
yeah,
it is.
What do
what
our
it
people
is.
out there listening and watching? What do they think? Do they wish when WWE did go to Netflix that they did go more Attitude Era-esque, or are you glad they're keeping it PG-13, man? Everything that we've talked about tonight, man, just sound off in the comments below. Again, we want to thank everybody who has listened and watched and subscribed to us. We just, definitely want to get the interactions up going. If you have any sort of comment, a subject you want us to touch on, sound off in the comments below. Tell your friends, like we say, everybody here. Wrestling's for everybody, you know. Independent wrestling, mainstream wrestling. In fact, speaking of independent wrestling, we got some really great stuff coming up in 2025. Baracho Pro just had their year-end awards. I'll be bringing some little bit of coverage from that. I also did get an exclusive interview with Bradley Mann, co-owner of Baracho Pro, in regards to some allegations of World Breaker, Break Savage, breaking into
Chris Camacho
Bradley
was
Mann.
telling me about that.
So got an interview with Break Savage as well too. Got their side of the story for what happened. Again, these are all allegations.
Man, you out there doing some investigative reporting, bro. You out there.
That's what I do. And so yes, Baracho Pro will have their first event of 2025 on February 2nd at Pinball. It's called BSB2. That stands for Blood, Sweat, Beers 2.
If I'm back from New York in time, I will be going on January 20th to Metroplex Wrestling, which all you guys know is Ember Moon or Athena's promotion. I will be going out there. It's happening right here in Waco. So I'm gonna go check that out, see what I can do over there, and yeah, we got a lot of good stuff. I'm seeing gonna happen, especially in the Texas area.
TNA wrestling coming up towards the end of January. Rikishi, speaking of which, that TNA wrestling weekend is going to be busy because we got TNA wrestling the 23rd, 24th. Saturday the 25th, there is an in-store signing at Hodgepodge Tastic down in San Antonio at the Rolling Oaks Mall. They are bringing in Tia Carrere, Mark Draskos, and WWE Hall of Famer Rikishi for all for in-store signings. There is.
How much can I pay Rikishi to stink face you?
There is a wrestling event being held at the Wrestling Shop, which is a really cool independent store down in Rolling Oaks Mall as well too.
I need to make my way down there. I need to bring my little nephew there.
They've got but they've got their own little promotion in there that they're going to be doing a show as well. And then Saturday night, the 25th, is Saturday night's main event. This one is rumored to be a return of Jesse the Body Ventura, who made his long-awaited return this past Saturday night for commentary, as well as a supposed return for Mr. One.
Mr. Cena. I'm sure my little nephew's jumping for joy.
So definitely 2025 is going to kick off with a great start for wrestling people. And again, you got Inspire Pro. Their season will kick off in March per Dr. The Wife. Inspire, I think I just said Inspire. Baracho Pro, Hot Wrestling up there in Waco. Like you said, Metroplex Wrestling. I think in Temple, there's that Terps Toys and Comics. They help promote a wrestling show as well. I think it's like 360 degree wrestling, something like that.
Yeah, I see it on Facebook all the time.
But I mean, you've just got lots of great wrestling to check out, and there is also a brand new promotion being brought into Texas called AIWF. They were originally based out of Tennessee. I got to meet one of the owners just this past weekend down up in Temple at Malapalooza. He's getting started there in San Antonio, going to be bringing things to Austin as well too. You got Dog Pound Championship. They've got 3 TV tapings coming up in January, 1 in January, 2 in February, and they are also a partner of the brand new NWA Texas. So NWA Power.
I didn't even know that about that. Really? They're moving out of Georgia?
NWA has been out of California.
I thought they did their.
NWA Power.
Yeah, they were Georgia, Atlanta.
And well, I mean, they've done shows in Hollywood as well too. But anyways, yes, they have
Probably.
a brand new. They are expanding their outreach, and they have combined with Rodney Mack and Jazz's promotion, Dog Pound Championship Wrestling, and are bringing in NWA Texas. So those will be
That's
going on
interesting.
as well too. So there's lots and lots of wrestling coming into Texas. But yes, I will working on trying to get those interviews and little recap from the Baracha Pro year-end awards. Working on getting those up here hopefully soon. Got footage from the Von Erich Claw La 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 event.
I saw you went to that ranch, huh?
Mm-hmm.
That looked awesome.
Erich Ranch. Yep. But yeah, there's lots of stuff we got on our plate. So definitely keep an eye on us. Keep an eye on your social media channels for any independent promotions in your area. Come out and support Texas wrestling. I know Texas is a big community for wrestling, man. So wherever you're at in Texas, go check out a show.
You will have a great time. Get some beers, and even if you don't like wrestling, still go. Get you some beers, enjoy a show. Is what I say. You're in for a good time. Well, everybody, I want to thank everybody. We're going to be getting before the Christmas holidays, we're going to be getting a holiday special out. More on that later. We'll have a very special guest with us. So you might have seen him in our past videos, beating the crap out of me. One Mr. Lucha Tony will be joining us for a little interview. And, well, that's all we got for you guys tonight. For SP, I am Dropkick Zombie. Good night, everybody. Peace out, y'all. A-Town down.
We two loony guys catching eyes with our hype, talking pro wrestling, making all the fans unite. In the ring we swing like a rhyme-making machine with moves so mean, leaving opponents in a dream. You're rocking the mic, flowing tight like a rap, them no cliche bull with the kings of the